Good morning, sports, or good afternoon, sports fans. We'll be going in about 2 minutes. Sam, 2 minutes. Hi, Andrea.
Hello.
Just go over the basics today on how you got started, what were your insecurities, how you worked them out, the whole deal, okay? Thanks.
Okay, sounds good.
The good thing about we got our Wix codes already, so they're ready to go. We're waiting for Samantha. She's having some internet problems, so we'll just give her a couple more minutes. Okay, well, let's start. Afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is well, getting acclimated to your second week of the new semester. Everybody's getting all the data and materials available to you as well, and everything is fine. If it wasn't fine, I hope you would let me know. So, welcome. Sam, how are you doing? Are you okay to start, or do you want to postpone for today?
I can go.
Okay. Well, everybody, we'll start out with Samantha leading the way. Sam, take it away.
All right, everyone. And then will you just let me share screen? Because I'm disabled from screen sharing. There we go. All right, so while I pull this up, just comfortable seat, probably in a chair. And if you're not on a chair, just sitting up tall, can be on the ground, maybe putting something under your tailbone. And you can either close your eyes or you can gaze forward at one point, maybe looking at one of the keys on your keyboard. Just begin to lengthen the breath, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, letting go of the jaw.
Shirley, leave it. Just trying to sit
So
up.
today our theme is going to be compassion, just in spirit of Valentine's Day. So it's called Loving Kindness, the type of meditation that we'll be doing. And I'm putting the phrases on the screen just so you can see them, but I will say them with you so you don't have to look. So once you've kind of relaxed the body, deepen the breath, think of someone close to you, a loved one, imagining their face, maybe picturing them smiling, and then repeat with me either in your head or out loud these phrases. May you be happy and healthy. May you be safe from harm. May you be free from suffering. And may you find peace and joy. And then thinking about someone that is more of an acquaintance, can be a neighbor, it could be a friend of a friend. And again, repeating these words, you can say you or you can replace it with their name. May you be happy and healthy. May you be safe from harm. May you be free from suffering. And may you find peace and joy. Next, thinking of a friend. May you be happy and healthy. May you be safe from harm. May you be free of suffering. And may you find peace and joy. And then doing it for yourself. Maybe allowing a gentle smile to come to your face as you wish yourself well. May I be happy and healthy. May I be safe from harm. May I be free of suffering. And may I find peace and joy. And finally, thinking of someone that you're not particularly fond of, someone that you may have had some sort of falling out or that you're at odds with. And finding a place in your heart to wish this person well and send some compassion their way. May you be happy and healthy. May you be free from harm. May you be free of suffering. And may you find peace and joy. And then just imagining in your mind that your heart is glowing and growing. Maybe you imagine a certain color and imagine that with each person that came to mind, you're sending them good energy. Exhaling everything out of the lungs first. Big inhale through the nose. And exhale, let it out of the mouth. And if your eyes were closed, slowly blinking the eyes open. Whenever you're ready, taking your time, preparing for class and allowing the mind to be a little bit more calm and a little bit more clear for the next hour and a half.
Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Okay. Going to bring up something here. Hope everybody's doing well. And again, thank you, Sam, for that. What we're going to do today is we're going to, first of all, talk about our product. have a discussion about making the final choice of where we want to get to with the product we're going to order, which will lead us into a lot of things. And I'd like to get a discussion going about the team name and the team charity today, please. Then we're going to break out into a breakout room. Andrea is going to run a breakout session for the Wix.com internet site. All the people in somewhat directly or indirectly with web sales, internet sales, using the internet, developing the internet site, will go and break out in a room with Andrea, and she's going to go over the beginning of the process of how you take the information from the training sessions and apply it to our own team. And she'll be leading that discussion. The key thing to remember is we need to, this can get frustrating. This is a new thing, but the main thing is it'll end up working fine. As Andrea can attest, it ends up working fine. We've been given our Wix code, which is a code we use to open up the website as soon as we're ready and begin the process. One of the things we need to understand is we can only sell in the state of California. Okay, we can't have a sale outside of the state of California on the internet. It's against the universities, and it's well, not against, but it goes against the bylaws and the directions of our liability issues in selling out of state with sales taxes, and if something should happen with the product and the liability issues. So we can only sell out of in the state of California. So if somebody goes on the website and places an order and they live in Chicago, we cannot sell the product. Now, there is a way of getting around that. They can, or you can contact that person and you can purchase the product for them. And they might give you, send you a check or something like that regards, and then you can mail it to them or we can distribute the product to them. But they cannot go through the website from out of state. We cannot do that. I don't know if Sean Snyder mentioned that in Tuesday's session because I had to leave, but I know a lot of us had some difficulties getting into the Tuesday session. Hopefully that has been corrected. In our Blackboard site, which 2 of us have yet to visit in our second week of school, please make sure you visit the Blackboard site under organizations for our team, the HASI Practicum. Make sure you do that because remember, Big Brother HASI is watching. All right. So make sure you do that. But in our Blackboard site are links in the Zoom links folder to the playlist of the videos of those training sessions. So if you missed most of the training session on Tuesday, you can go to that folder, click it on, and watch the video from the training session. So please, if you're involved or will be involved in the internet activities with our team, you should go and get up to speed with that session from Tuesday. So we're going to be doing that later on today in our class, is meeting with Andrea. There are other people who are going to stay with me and Samantha and Howard to talk about some operations that we need to discuss amongst ourselves as well. So that's our game plan for today. Now I want to bring up, Mason has sent me some links to the products that we have to choose from. And I'm going to bring up, and in reverse order that he gave me, I'm going to bring up this site here from AliExpress, which is 2 trays, a small and a large, I guess you could say, of this product. The small is at $5.03. AliExpress, by the way, is a Chinese venture, so we know that. And the other is a larger version at about $9.59. Pretty cheap, but there's also shipping involved. All right. Also, we don't get the order if we order it today until mid-April. So that pretty well scratches this off the list. All right. We start selling in March. So unless anybody knows something that I don't or can't see on this link, this puts this out of the running because we don't get the product till mid-April. That's a big problem. Now, we could use this site as a second or backup vendor, but again, the length of time to get the product, and I assume from China, makes this a little bit difficult. Okay, so that's that version there. Kind of, Mason, if you want to pipe in on any of this, if I'm missing anything in my diagnosis, you give me a shout out, okay? But I think we cannot use this one, even though it's a nice product, different
Yeah.
sizes. Go ahead, Mason.
I've been recently searching, and Rihanna actually found a pretty good one that was still trying to figure out if it's viable. It looks pretty promising recently.
Do I have that one?
No.
Well, should I avoid going through this exercise then?
I mean, if I mean, probably.
Okay. All right. Well, let me bring up the one with Amazon.
Yeah.
This is the one that's
That one-
probably doable
Yeah.
that we can get. Now, here's the problem, Mason, and I found this out in researching this. I go to quantity, and the most I can order is 27.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Now, can we place an order and then the next day place another order?
I do not know.
Okay.
Professor Hassey, actually, my group had the same problem last semester, and
I remember
we
that.
actually, yeah, we did the same thing. So we had to charge a couple times for the quantity.
You went to multiple orders, right? I remember that.
Yeah, we
forgot
charged
all
like
about that.
10 times at once,
Yeah.
though. So
Okay.
yeah, it should be fine.
Okay, it should be fine. Okay, so so this is the one that's through Amazon, and the good thing about this is we can get it in like 2 days. That's the nice thing. We can get it pretty quickly. And the good thing about it is it's fairly. Howard, I got to mute you, buddy. There you go. So this is the one that kind of piqued my interest. Now it's $11. All right, shipping is free.
Yeah.
Because we'll be Amazon Prime members. So it's $11. So that means we got to think about selling it for $20, $17.99, $18.99, something like along those lines. All right, Mason, the floor is yours. Where do we go from here? What's that other product you're looking at?
Rihanna actually found a product, I think Olio today, but I'm not completely sure, in which they could even customize a little part of the tray for us, in which we could get a high amount, like heck, we could even get a 200, but it's a decent amount of money. So I was thinking that we could get the sale, like we could buy 120 of them, and we would have probably like 500 remaining money for 500 to like maybe 600 for other funds and functions.
Well, that's right. That's how you do it. What you do is you place your initial order of 100 some odd units. You get them in, you sell them the first few weeks, develop some cash flow, then you place another order if you need more. Or if it's not going very well, which that's been a history sometimes in our teams, you order 100, then it takes you the whole time to try to sell those 100, which we're going to try to alleviate by some sound marketing and that sort of thing. But yes, Mason, that's the general rule. You want to order, you don't want to spend more than $1,500 to $1,700 of our $2,500 capital. You want to only spend about part of that because we're going to need it for other things. And also what you do, you place an order and then you see if you can sell the sucker. And then maybe 4 or 5 weeks into the sales, then we place another order for the last part of the session. So you're thinking the right way. So can I see this other version, or I'm sharing the screen here? You can bring something up if you'd like.
Yeah, I could send it into the group chat so you could check it out at least.
Okay. How much does this product cost, and what's the deal?
I've been doing a little bit of research on it. The made the $10.48 for just one.
Okay.
You could customize them. What do you call it? Let me just put the tag in the chat right now.
Is it the idea stage?
Yeah, that one. Unless we close that off, but I thought it was good, right?
Mhm.
Wasn't any problems with it.
So the website's called ideastage.com.
Okay. And where is Idea Stage located?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Good. Okay. Good. Okay.
It's been such a trouble to get a producer that actually could get it here on time, because a lot of them, like Alibaba,
Right.
uh,
It's
even-
China.
yeah, it's a bit trouble to get it to here.
Yeah,
Shipping wise
understandable.
and shipping cost wise.
That's exactly right. And that's the game we have to play, and that's the real world. So that's how we have to do it. So based on this discussion, are you guys willing to go ahead with this one, the idea stage?
Yeah.
My question is, how would you design it? You be like put a logo on it, or different colors, or what do you mean by that?
Well, I thought we were gonna be putting on all logo that the
Your
creative
team logo.
working on. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, I just want to make sure.
You
And
shared
how
the
much
link in the chat, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
I did put it in the products in the chat.
How much additional cost is putting on the logo in the order?
I do not completely aware of that. I don't think it adds much, or
Okay. Okay, so other team members,
I'm not a-
Austin, Tyler, everybody, what do you think about that? Is everybody okay with this ideastage.com product? Be nice to see some of you guys, but that's all right. I've been yelled at before by administration. Don't force the cameras on these kids.
I like the product for the idea stage.
Thanks, Eric. Good. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback. Dave Alba, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the idea.
Okay, good. And then at the end of this class, Dave, I want you to visit our Blackboard site. Okay, buddy?
I have
Thank
a
you.
question,
Yes.
clarifying question.
Yes,
Back to
Taylor.
the Amazon order. So for the Amazon order, we wouldn't have to pay any shipping and handling, and would be able to like do the order like 10 times in one sitting.
We can only order probably, I don't know about the Amazon order, how many we can order at once. Probably just 27, I believe. I think it saw. And then what we would do, then we would another day we'd place another order.
You wouldn't have to wait another day. I just
you
did
did.
them all in one sitting. Just
Oh, you did?
different-
You just
Yeah,
one
that's
after
what I'm
another?
saying. Can we
Oh,
just do it?
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, I think there's a cap that you could just for on the website, because they don't
Okay.
expect you to buy more than a certain amount. So
At least the Amazon order, you know what you're dealing with there. But if we can get a product from this Phoenix outfit that we can put a logo on, and that I think that's more attractive. It's a little bit more individual. It's a little bit more, we could even once we do design the logo or get that going, we can do some other nifty things with that. And Mason and Andrew, off the top of your heads, you don't think the shipping time would be that much of a problem?
let's see, we actually have like 7 vendors. So for this one, I believe this one arrives, if I remember correctly, within a couple of weeks. We had
Couple
some
of
again.
weeks.
So on the website, if it says if we order today, our estimated ship date is 2/23 to 2/26.
All right.
And
So we better think about placing the order next week sometime.
Mhm.
Okay. Do we want to order 1 unit just to see what it looks like and get it here next week?
you have to
Go ahead.
use a minimum order quantity of 100.
Oh, listen to you guys. What the hell with that then? All right. Okay. The reason why I asked that guy, guess whose credit card we're going to be using to do the ordering here?
Yours.
Exactly. So I want to make sure that we do this the right way, or my wife will not have a nice new Valentine's Day gift this coming weekend if we screw this up. So that's why I'm asking. But that's how we do the ordering. I don't want you guys to use your money. You can use your money maybe to buy, set up things, and then we'll reimburse you. You always get reimbursed. But for a amount of money like this, we use professor's credit card to do the ordering. So that's how we'll do this. All right.
Can we email them asking for a sample?
If they're willing to do that, sure. Doesn't hurt to ask.
Mm.
Okay.
It says on their website that they like their office hours are 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So I could call them like right now.
Austin,
Or
go
would-
ahead. Take charge there, buddy.
And also they
Okay,
have a
money moves.
photo sample you could see on the website. You just
Okay.
have to fill out some
Well, I'll trust you guys on that. I won't go look at that, but I trust you guys on that. Okay, well, why don't, as Austin calls them, why don't we think about doing that? All right, fair enough, everybody? And then now let's talk about our team name. Where we stand on our
Oh.
team name.
We've already selected a team name. It's Wheel Meal.
Wheel Meal.
That's correct. And the domain name is available.
What is the, is that all one word or would it be 2 words?
2 words.
2 words, Wheel Meal.
That's
I
correct.
like that. That's great, very nice. I would think we could get a cool logo for that too if we put our heads on it, right? And who's designing that or who's behind
Oh.
that?
We have some samples actually. Serena made for a couple other. Let's see if I can share my screen.
Go right ahead. Serena, good job. Good job,
She
Serena.
made these a couple of days ago. This is when we had other names as an option. So she did a
Okay.
very good job. Here, I'll put this on the screen real quick.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys can see it.
I can see it.
Perfect. I don't know if Serena, you want to talk about them or.
Yeah, so originally we didn't have a name plan, so I just did the trades for days.
Uh-huh.
So now that we have a name, I just need a few ideas or like a few commentary from you guys. I don't know what theme you guys want to go for, like what brand or aesthetic we want to put off to our customers, as well as which styles you guys prefer. And then from there we could do some more samples.
I think we discussed as well, our color themes wouldn't be the University of Laverne colors, so it'd be green and orange. But we're open to more ideas.
Okay, that's all right. And maybe Serena, you could take a look at your setup there with a couple that says, yeah, like as you just said, Wheel Meal, and see redesign that. Keep it so. Remember, next question is, and maybe you guys haven't thought about this, but who are we going to sell to? Are we going to sell to your network, your students, or are we going to sell to older people? Are we going to sell to parents? Are we who are we going to sell to? So the logo has got to be so, like if Howard and I looked at a logo and if we can't look at it and figure out what the hell's that thing saying, then we're in trouble. But you're not trying to sell to Howard and I. You're trying to sell to somebody a little bit younger and kind of more with it than he and I. But no offense, Howard, sorry. But we want to develop the logo so it's easy recognizable. Like the one in the left-hand corner, Trays for Days with that yellow color. That's kind of a clever logo, but it's hard to read. All right. So, you want to think of that something that pops right out at you. Remember, I'm sure some of you watched the Super Bowl this past weekend. Well, what were the best ads? Either the ad with the best message, had a kind of a cool message, everybody kind of relate to, in these pandemic times, or an ad that kind of stood out. It popped out of the TV screen. It kind of just grabbed you and said, even I didn't care what this product is. This is kind of a cool way of looking at it. So that's kind of what you want to look at. And Serena, you've done that, a lot of that in many of your examples here, but that's where we want to get to in our final choice. Something that you just look at it right away and we know, Wheel Meal. All right, I know what these guys are all about. You don't have to think about it or don't have to be like Howard and I going, huh? What? What? I don't know what's going on. So that's the key to that logo is right away somebody can grab it and understand it. So yeah, Serena, keep working on that. I like that. Okay. We got it, we need this next week or whatever, but this is a great start. Okay. Thank you, Serena. Nice job. Next question. Charity. Rihanna, who was working on that? Rihanna, weren't you working on that?
Yeah, that was me.
What do we got?
Okay, so I kind of looked into the one I kind of already told you about.
The one in New York?
Yeah, but
Okay.
so it's based in New York, like that's like where they have like their headquarters and stuff. But like it is national, and I looked deeper into like the 25% that go to the nonprofit organizations, and let's see, three organizations specifically in LA County received $40,000 from them, and
Okay.
each one received like 25,000.
Okay,
So-
now I'm going to be a professor here and be a real geek. Sorry. What do you mean by 25% of the calculations?
So all of the funding, so 100% of like donations and funding that they receive goes to like direct assistance. 50% of that they work with the Southern Smoke Foundation to distribute directly to individual restaurant workers who apply.
Okay. Okay.
So that's half of their funding, and then
Got it.
25% they distribute to different nonprofit organizations across the country.
Okay. Very
that
good.
are also helping restaurant workers. And then the remaining 25% goes to zero interest loans that they give to restaurants to help get them back up and running.
Okay. And do they have a not-for-profit tax ID identification number?
Yes.
And you have that information?
I have it. I can find it.
Okay, you don't, as long as you have it or can get it, that I need that
Mhm.
because I have to run a couple background checks on these guys just to be on the safe side. Okay, that's me being a geek. Sorry, but I need that tax ID number to do that. Okay. All right, everybody, what do you think? Is this a viable? I think it hooks into your product naturally. What do you all think about the charity? And one of the things that when Rihanna and I had a conversation this past week about this was that I was concerned that it wasn't really having to do with Southern California or the area that we're in. And now she has found that out, and that's now they do give to in this area, and that's important. You know, I don't want to give $2,000 to this charity, and most of the money goes to somebody in New York that I don't know anything about, or you know, it goes to a good cause, yes. But the purpose of this program is to help out and give back to our community, not just the world community or the national community, but our community. So if we can be assured or know that some of this money is going to go to that, then yes, it's all going to a great cause. I mean, the restaurant and these people need a lot of help, and I agree. But we want to have as part of our pitch, especially to Wells Fargo, they eat this stuff up, is that it's going to some organization or some recipients local. And that's important because Wells Fargo, that's a big sticking point with them, why they're giving us the loan. So that's why that. So Rihanna, we think that can happen that way, and you're comfortable with that. So group, are we is this okay, or does anybody have any dissenting or other ideas?
No, that sounds good.
Okay. Miguel, you're okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds-
Miguel's a man of very few words, but he always means what he says. Thanks, Miguel. Okay, that's good. Smile, Mason. This isn't that bad. All right, there he goes. There he goes. All right. All right. So we got a name, Wheel Meal. We got maybe a charity. What's the name of the charity again? One more time, Rihanna. What's the name of the charity?
It's the Restaurant Workers Community Foundation, and
Rest-
specifically they have an emergency relief fund that they're
Okay.
taking donations for.
Perfect. I couldn't convince you to give this money to the food bank of Laverne students, but no, but that's okay. I'm not, that's not my job is to convince you. You want to give it to these guys? I think it's perfect. That's fine. All right. We're working on our product. We're working on our logo. That's great. Andrew, anything I'm missing in this preliminary discussion today?
Actually, we want to add something more to the vendors. I believe Taylor has some information regarding
Taylor?
pricing.
Yeah, I do. So I was just going over the numbers for the two main vendors we were thinking about. And so I brought up to them that Amazon is only $17.76 for us to get 150, and there's no shipping with that, no shipping fee with that, and we get it like within 3 days, 3 to 5 days. Versus if we wanted to try to do the idea stage, it's already $2,000 right now, and that's without the logo. plus the shipping is way longer. So I just wanted to know if they wanted it.
So
Kinda
the
just talk about
$2,000
support.
is for an order of 100,
And 50,
150.
correct.
Yeah, that's cutting a little close. I can live with it depending if I have to know but I need to know what the logo would add to that. But
Right.
that's cutting into our cash flow very tightly.
Yeah, it is.
All right, well, let's do this. The table is still open. We have the numbers, but let's find out, or somebody research, Austin, if you were working on that, or anybody, let's see what the logo would cost if they can give us that information, and give that information to Talia. Talia, you got me all excited now. You're talking numbers. Oh my God, this is right up my alley. I'm going crazy here. And then find out what that logo is and work that into the equation and see what we got to work with. Is the minimum order with idea stage 150?
No, it's 100.
It's 100. Okay. All right. And
So actually, I
also,
found you can order one. You can order like a sample
okay. Well,
from Idea Space.
Okay.
Idea
Well,
Stage.
let's wait until we decide to go with them officially, and then let's see what the logo costs, and then go from there. Okay. So this might be something that we decide over the weekend, Andrew. Okay.
I have a question, Professor.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
about
ma'am.
what about like going kind of cheap on a logo and making like a sticker or something? Because I feel like you can buy stickers in bulk and place that on products.
Great idea. We could do it, forget ordering the sticker from the vendor. We just have another vendor do the stickers with our logo, and we peel them, and the person who's packaging up the product sticks them on the that's good. If we can do that cheaply, there's something we can find out about this weekend, okay?
Professor, I actually have a connection with Vistaprint because I use them a lot. So I have a big discount that we could use for like logo stickers. So I could
Boy,
send that to Taylor.
You guys are right after my own heart here. You're talking like businessmen and women. Thank you. So why don't you follow up on that then, and get with Taylor, get with Andrew, get with Miguel, and get with Mason, and work on that this weekend if you can wire that down, okay? Let's plan on during our discussion after the training session that's Tuesday. Hopefully we get all this organized, and then maybe next Tuesday we can start talking about let's placing the order, okay? Or at least get a sample in. And maybe you guys can make the decision to get the sample if it's freebie over the weekend. Have it shipped to us, and so we can take a look at it. But let's try to get this decided, because next week is the week of the 16th, and then we're getting pretty close. And if we can get that product ordered and ready to roll, that's a plus for us before the start date. Okay. So Jasleen, please follow up on that for me, okay? Thank you. Now, another couple of things I want to show you. There's a couple of files in Blackboard that I know Andrew has begun to look at them, but I want you all to look at them. And it's the outline of the business plan. I mean, what we have to do. Now, some of your other professors, hopefully, are beginning to talk to you about this. If not, I guess I got to do it all. But beginning a business plan. It's a series of information that you have to put together, that you have to submit to your professors, to me, and to Wells Fargo about 3 or 4 days before your Wells Fargo presentation. So I think our Wells Fargo presentation is Thursday, March 4th. So that Sunday, February 28th, we have to have this done and ready to roll and sent to Wells Fargo. Here is we have a question here. Oh, okay, thanks. This outline is in Blackboard, and you can look it over. It's about just a series of information you have to provide. SWOT analysis, all kinds of stuff. Now, here is a sample of a prior team in my practicum business plan, and this also is in Blackboard. The name of the company was Solo Straw. Here is their table of contents, their executive summary. Again, it follows the same outline plan that is in that generic document that I just showed you. And it talks about their company, their mission statement, their vision statement, their management. It introduces the team with pictures, an org chart, nice little bios about each team member. This is what you do in the real world to get bank financing. Trust me. I did this for a living for an ungodly amount of years. It talks about your charity and maybe a brief address, bio, a link to their website, whatever, your contact, the charity's mission, so they can link that charity's mission into yours, the description of your product, maybe a pictures, the vendor information, how you're going to distribute the product, what is your operations plan, what's your marketing plan, who are you going to target, how you're going to go about doing it. The risk or SWOT analysis of your company. What are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? What's your sales plan? How many units are you going to sell every week? Who are you going to sell to? Are you going to have any corporate partners? Your projections of sales. You're going to have 3 financial scenarios: a most likely scenario, a best case scenario, and a worst case scenario. And then you provide the financial projections, an income statement with your expenses and revenues, a balance sheet, and a statement of cash flows. This is what Taylor is going to be doing with my help and Samantha's, putting this together once we start getting the numbers. And this is our business plan that we have to produce. As you can see, it's 43 pages long, this one. This is a big piece of work that we have to do in the next couple of weeks. And this is where Andrew and Miguel and everybody assign specific tasks to each team member. Talia naturally would do the numbers and the projections and the spreadsheets, sales, marketing, operations. Andrew and Miguel could probably put together, Miguel, because I consider him our HR guy, to put together a team bios, a team org chart, team pictures. See that? So take a look at this document over the weekend if you haven't already done so. This is where we want to get to in basically 2 weeks. And this is the document that we're going to put into a PowerPoint presentation and present it to Wells Fargo on March 4th. It's pretty detailed. Why? Somebody's lending you money. Somebody's giving you money and they want their money back. They want a return on their investment. And so this has to prove to them that Team Wheel Meal is a viable team to make this happen. And that's what this is all about. So if you are at the VP level, if you are at the manager level, you should download these 2 files and start putting together your somewhat of a draft over the next few weeks. I'm going to be looking for a draft maybe at the end of next week, and start putting this together. But again, Andrew, Miguel, Rihanna aren't doing all the work. Everybody shares in each section of this and puts it together. All right. Since Rihanna's working on the charity, she probably will do the charity section, but also she's in charge of marketing. So she can have Austin help her, who's the advertising manager. She can have David help her, who's the marketing manager. You guys are all going to put this together in pieces, make sure it's, and then you're going to all blend it together in one nice little font, one nice pretty little presentation with your logo, with team pictures, all kinds of fun stuff into a professional document. And this basically is what your first grade in the class is, putting this together and your presentation. This is your first grade in this class.
Professor, I had a question. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So just to be clear, you said Miguel and Andrew, they're assigning out the task of who's going to do what for the business plan.
Well,
right?
pretty much. They're your team leaders, and all of you know your team responsibilities by your title.
Right.
So you'll be, you can just go ahead and say, hey, Eric, I'm events corporate sales manager, so I'm going to maybe be in charge of the marketing or sales. Maybe I have some ideas about selling to corporations. Maybe I have some ideas about some group sales or something like that. This
Okay.
is where you think about those ideas and in your own particular area, and then you'll be responsible for providing that information as a piece of this plan.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, good question, Eric. Thank you. All right, so take a look at your job title. What are your responsibilities? If you're confused about that, you let me know or let Andrew know and he'll explain it. And then we're all going to work on a team on this together. Everybody. Now I'm a little disappointed. Is Sebastian Williams here today?
He's on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles. He texted our group chat and said he wasn't gonna be able to come to classes today.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you. I appreciate somebody telling me about that. Thank you. Okay. Well, good thing I'm recording this session so he can watch this later. Because Sebastian is a key guy. He's the he's the lead guy on the website. So I don't want him to get too far behind in this because he's a lead guy on doing the website stuff. Okay. Any questions about this business plan or how it's set up? Okay. Again, and we've talked about this last week. This can be a little bit overwhelming, but it's not. Andrea and Samantha can attest to that. It's overwhelming at the beginning, but when you all start working together and putting together your ideas, and we give you the templates, we give you outlines to pattern your work off of, but also be a little imaginative, like you're doing with your team name and your logo. Put your own personality into this document. Put your own team culture into this document. That's what the professors in Wells Fargo are looking at, not some cookie cutter. Hey, we've seen this format before. What's up with these guys? Show that you can really put your own team personality and your own individual work into this to give yourself a culture. That's a very important in business. And I'm going to have Howard talk about a little bit in a minute about, developing a team culture, a team mojo, I guess you could say. And that's very important. It helps you with team morale and getting engaged, but also it tells people who are watching your product and visiting your website, hey, these guys are committed. They know they really are involved in this. This is cool. This gives that view to the public, to your consumers, and also more importantly for a grade to your professors and to Wells Fargo about your commitment of making this a real team effort, and that's important. Okay, so those two files you might want to take a look at and a gander at. Oh, my timeline is running late. Howard, do you have anything to say to the group today about marketing or about your experience, sir?
Rick, I'm just catching up. So I'm impressed with the participation so far. Andrew, I will send you some basic information that I've shared with other teams. So I'll send that to you today. And as I read the calendar correctly, the first draft is due next Tuesday.
I'm gonna let that slide a little bit, make it towards the end of the week.
Okay, next week sometime. Yeah. Okay. So far so good. And everybody's getting involved and got your product and go ahead.
Okay, great. Thanks, Howard. So now what we're going to do is I've set up a breakout room for Andrea, and some of our team members will go into that room, and she's going to begin to talk about the Wix.com, maybe spend 20 or 25 minutes doing that. And then I'll give you a heads up, and we'll come back for one last little nonsense from me. Jasleen, Mason, and Talia, you're going to stay here with me, and we're going to talk about some operational things that I think you guys all should know about, and we'll talk about that. And then the rest of the group is going to go talking with Andrea. Samantha, you're going to be with me along with Howard, okay? All right, so everybody all right? So I'm going to flick the magic button here, and here we go.
Are we waiting for Professor Hassie right now?
I thought we will at least.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna be in this group.
Yeah, I think he went to the other one.
Oh. Oh, well, I guess while we're here, Mason, I can keep some of the inventory at my house. Like we were talking about how he said the people who do operations.
Yeah.
So just, where do you live?
Chino Hills.
Oh, I'm in Rancho. Okay, that's kind of far.
Okay, here I am. Okay. Austin, why are you here? You're supposed to be in the other meeting.
I don't know. I've just been here the whole time.
I'll move you. Hang on.
All right.
No offense. Would like to see you, but I'm going to move you. Okay.
No, understand. Sorry.
There you go. Okay. All right. Mason, Taylor, Jesleen. Mason, you're the operations guy. Okay. And what's going to happen is once we finally get the product and it's going to be sent to us, it's probably going to be sent to you. All right. And you'll be keeping track of all this. All right. And I don't know if you were able to, did you watch the training session on Tuesday of this past Tuesday?
Yeah, I was able to sign back in after getting kicked out.
Okay. Yeah, that was all screwed up. So, you know, one of your responsibilities is when an order is going to be placed on the internet, you'll put together the box or the package or however you want to ship them and send it out to our customers. Okay. So you can do the mailing list however you see fit. You can do all the boxing. All of these are going to take you to go out and probably purchase some boxes or some how we're going to do them. You'll be reimbursed. If you want some money in advance, you can let me know, but you'll be reimbursed. This is not going to cost you a nickel to do all this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Taylor is going to be responsible for putting together the numbers, and she's already got off to a great start on that by looking at some of the cost of the product. We have a set of spreadsheets that I'm going to be going over with Taylor next week. We have a meeting next Tuesday evening with the CEOs and the CFOs to go over finances, and we'll talk about how we putting all this together. It's a template. It's really pretty simple. But that's what we're going to have to do. And Taylor will be responsible for getting all those numbers together and what kind of profit we're going to make at what selling price, and we're going to work on all that next week. But I just wanted to make sure that Mason and Jesleen, you know that Taylor's responsibilities when it has to do with money, Taylor's the person. Okay, she's the person that's going to be in charge of that. Naturally, should be working with me. Now, Jesleen, you have the crazy job of being in a pandemic with this team and being a corporate marketing person. Your job, I would like you to do in the next week or so, is come up with any ideas that maybe, forget about individual sales, forget about internet sales. Can we sell this product by calling on some corporations or companies to buy it? I'd like you to develop that. Okay. Come up with ideas, ask around for ideas. Howard might be able to help you on this about dealing with trying to find some corporate partners. We want to try to find maybe an organization that might either be wanting to buy these as gifts or as prizes and their own things. The thing we have to worry about, Jesleen, is you cannot sell it to anybody and then have them resell it. That's breaking the law. We can't do that. So if in your pitch to a corporate partner or to somebody, you can't say, well, why don't you buy 50 units from us and then you can go ahead and sell them to your customers. Cannot do that. We're going to get in big time. We're going to lose our not-for-profit status if we do that at the University of Laverne. So we can't do that. So your idea, Jesleen, is try to come up with the idea of what we could do about even selling 10 or 15 or 20 units to a partner or a corporate partner or somebody like that. One of the things I was a little bit hesitant on picking our charity, since it's based in New York, is we can't really work with them out here unless they have some direct organization or an office out here, and I haven't seen that yet. So we can't really work with them in that, maybe me hooking up with their other partners in their organization. But Jasleen, what I would like you to do is think about in the next week, and we'll talk about this next Thursday, is what can you come up with maybe in us dealing with a partner or multiple partners, okay? An idea would be, oh, I should have thought more about this in advance, but I didn't. This is,
Professor Abadante gave us the idea of like a dealership, a car dealership, and
there,
giving
okay,
and them buying it off of us and like giving it with the cars as like an incentive. But from their point of view, it would be just a gift to the customer.
perfect. That's fine. God, Professor Abadante, right on it. That's good. So that's a great idea. Something like that, or also to you know. You know those security companies that have security people work at night and work all day. You could maybe sell this to them to give to their employees, because a lot of these employees maybe take their breaks in their cars, or they don't have any place to really go while they're on security duty. That might be an idea to sell them like to something like that as well. But be as creative or think about this, and there's probably a lot out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you might. I'm going to stretch this, and I'm not being funny on this, but you might want to talk to Professor Rossum about this. Is she talking to you guys these days?
Yeah, she can hear us now.
Yeah, okay, wonderful. So you might want to talk to Professor Rossum about that if she has any ideas. She was a big time marketing vice president for a corporation before she became a teacher. So she might have some ideas, and you might, if you feel comfortable asking her about that, go ahead. And so that's what I want you to work on. You don't have to, if you want to, I want you to learn about the internet and the website and that sort of thing, but you're kind of off to the side. You're in corporate development. You're in working with corporations or partnerships that we can develop and try to sell a few units that way, because many times the way we're going to be successful is if we find a couple of companies that want to do business with us. That's where we'll make our money. Because trust me, after about 4 or 5 weeks, people get sick of selling individual products to customers. It's always a pattern in this program. And if we can develop some corporate relationships, that's where we can make our big money. And that's the key. So your position is very, very important if we can develop that. And that's what I'd like you to do. Any comments?
Nope. I'm just thinking of ideas the whole time.
Yeah, good. And if you got ideas, send me an email, kick them around with anybody on your team. Send it to Howard, send it to Sam. If you got ideas about, does this sound screwy, or does this sound, maybe we should think about this.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Okay. And yes.
Oh, no, go ahead. Oh, okay. I had the idea of, I guess it's kind of like brings up a conflict, which we discussed in the beginning, was the car trade count sounds kind of scary if they use it, in the wrong way, which isn't our liability. But I was thinking an idea could be like companies with truck drivers, because they do eat in the car and they travel long hours. But again, if they use it the wrong way, it could also be like a scary device.
Yeah.
But that's not in our hands. So.
Well, and also the device is not only a food tray, it can be used as a laptop holder.
Yeah.
It can be used as a workstation. As long as you're not driving, it can be used as that. And that can be kind of clever way of saying, like, we could sell it to people who are salespeople. All right, who are salespeople, and they still go out on the road, even though a lot of sales is now done through the internet. But people who still have to drive and sell something, and they need a place to put their laptop down to place the orders or write stuff down, that's another area. I right off the top of my head, I'm thinking about real estate offices, or I'm thinking about insurance agencies, or stuff like that, where people do business maybe in their cars or have to travel around to clients. Even though in these days of pandemics, that's not as prevalent, but it's still, I know there's a lot of, I can see real estate agents all the time in my neighborhood still today. So I know they're traveling. So that's another idea. Howard, do you have anything to add about corporate partnerships? What do you think about that?
No, that's a relatively new idea, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
No, it's an interesting thought. So let me think about that.
Okay, because Howard's the brain in this. So if he thinks about that, he might be able to give us some clever feedback on that as well. So I think, Jasleen, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. It's a challenge. This is something that's new to our program. We did a little bit of corporate corporate relationships in prior years, but it wasn't very much. And I think this is a way of the future. And also, Giseline, it's great experience for you individually as a student to go through this exercise, because if you ever want to be in marketing or have your own business in the future, developing relationships, developing partnerships is a key thing. And if you can do that, boy, that's a feather in your cap in your career. So let's see what happens on that. Okay. Mason, I got a couple points to you. First of all, if I know you're not a salesperson, you're not part of marketing, but realistically, you've done a lot of research on this product. You've seen what it looks like. You've gone to websites and stuff. In your own gut feeling, can we sell these things? Be honest.
I feel like, all right, honestly speaking, all right, ahead of time, I'm biased against this product. I voted for the pet thing.
Okay.
I don't think it could sell as well as we think it can be. It's a very selected market. You need to have false finder driver, of course. It has to be steering wheel. It has to match the steering wheel that, it has to actually fit the steering wheel.
Yes.
It's going to be complicated, I think. Will it sell? I think it can sell, but it's going to be a little bit tricky.
Well, again, this is like a product, and Howard and I have been involved in practicums in the past where the product is designated for a certain specific market. Like a pet supplies, everybody has a pet, so that's a no-brainer. But this is designated for a certain market, a certain individual, a certain group of individuals. So that's what we got to really put our heads together on, and finding that market that we can go after and really push it. That's a key. And now I was going to ask you, Mason, that you're saying some great things, and this is what needs to be discussed in a team, just like what you're saying. Wonderful. Can this product be used without a steering wheel?
Like just as a normal tray, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on which one we actually end up with. The Amazon one would be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
To, just have, because it's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could use it like just by itself.
Could you carry it around? Like put it in your backpack?
Yeah.
These days, I know I am, and my wife especially. If we go, we don't go out very much, but let's say we go to pick up something, or we don't want to touch anything. We don't want to touch anything. We don't want to touch a table. I don't even like touching chairs. I'm such a paranoid now. But having a tray with you, you can set it down and put that down as a carry thing to protect you from something, from the creepy cruds or whatever, and it'd be something to protect you from. So I was thinking, I'm thinking out loud, but maybe we can talk about this next week, is once we decide on the product, how can we sell it for non-steering wheels, for you can stick it in your backpack and carry it around, or do it something that way, or whatever. But that's something I would like. We need to. I'm not asking you to develop this, but giving those thoughts. You're the kind of the guy that we bounce. Is this going to work? Because we need a couple of those on every team. Somebody says, good idea, but that's what we need to hear, and that's a good thing.
Well, the Amazon ones, it's one side is plain and it has a cup hold, and the other one can hold iPads, so it could just be easy. It's if I remember correctly, because I've been looking at a lot of trays recently.
Yeah,
so.
but also there's a lot of kids at home now. There's a lot of people at home now, and I know from hearing my stories of my sisters who have children and young children, that the kids are around all day and they're working on they have these little Microsoft laptops, whatever they're called, and they make messes, or the computer is scratching up the table, or so this could be like a tray you could put these things on just to protect your furniture, or keep things clean or tidy. That's another possible alternative to maybe a mother or father would buy a couple of these for their kids, for their laptops, or whatever. And down the road, when the pandemic is over, when you're traveling, then you need these for travel. And a lot of us, there's a big market out there, and Howard, you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think I'm right, is there's a waiting market out there just waiting to get the hell out of the house, waiting to go out and travel, waiting to do stuff. And I think that we can use that product to get into that market of, you're going to need this in about another 9 months or 6 months, because you're going to be out there traveling and you're going to be ready to go. And students are coming back to Laverne next year. You're going to be coming back to campus. This might be something you want to carry around with you. So there's a possible ways of that we can look at that. And I wanted just to kick that around with you because I respect your opinions. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Okay. And Taylor, I want you to keep a lookout and keep on top of these numbers that we're getting about the vendors, about the products, about shipping, about that sort of thing. And I think the key number to look at, Taylor, just for being safe, is $2,000. We don't want to spend any more that's the very top of $2,000 on our product. Anything more than $2,000, we're getting ourselves into a cash flow problem. And that's an issue, because here's what I mean by cash flow problem. If we buy $2,000 worth of merchandise, what happens if we don't sell it? What happens if we don't sell it? Now we're stuck. And then we're going to have to sell the product at a deep discount and lose money maybe. Some teams have had this problem in the past. So we want to make sure we buy smartly this product, $1,500. So we know that even if we don't sell it, we can sell it and take a little bit of a hit on the discount, but we're not going to really stretch our cash flow. And that's a key. Every week, Taylor, once we start operating, is we have to send reports, you and I, to Wells Fargo about our team performance every Monday. And that's one of the things they look at, cash flow. How's our cash flow? Because what we're going to be doing at the very beginning of the purchase, once we spend that money, the clock is running. We have to pay interest on that money that we used out of our credit line. They give us a credit line of $2,500. And as we start drawing down on that credit line, trying to buy the product, that's when the interest rates start charging. And the interest rates, if any of you are the finance students in this audience, are usually about 4 to 5 percentage points above the prime interest rate. So right now, the prime interest rate's roughly about 3.25%. So we're looking at an interest cost of 7.25, 8.25%. Still not much, but the clock is running, and we have to think about that when in regards to our cash flow. So Taylor, that's I wanted to give you that number, because we can't go too much higher about that, because first of all, we got to pay web fees, we got to pay bank fees, we got to pay overhead to University of Laverne. So there's other expenses that's going to drain our cash flow. So we don't want to spend all our money on product and then be stuck without any cash flow. Then we're going to have a problem, and then Wells Fargo will have a big problem with that when they see it. You see, the thing about this program, it's run just like a business. If you don't produce, they can call in your loan. If into the first 3 or 4 weeks, if we're not doing anything, Wells Fargo can say, all right, pay us the money. Wait a minute, we don't have the money. We just bought our product. Pay us the money. Whoops. So we don't want that to happen. Wells Fargo has the ability to pull the loan, just like in the real world. You don't make your car payments, what do? They take your car away from you. So that's part of this. If we are not producing or not providing information or not providing cash flow, they can make things a little bit dicey for our team management. So we have to remember that. And you're the person who's going to be monitoring that along with myself and Samantha. All right. That's why we have meditation before every class. We're going to need calm. We're going to need coolness. We're going to need Mason to smile more. And we do that, we're all going to be fine. Because when Howard smiles, I smile. And when Jasleen finds a corporate partner that's willing to buy 1,000 units, she's going to get an A in this class. I can guarantee that right now. So that's the setup. Okay, so I'm done here. What we're going to do is I'm going to pull the plug on the other group, and we're going to come back and meet just for a few more minutes, and then and finish up for the day. Okay.
Rick,
so
before you go.
Yes, Howard.
A very timely Kiplinger letter arrived just last week, which I will read. And Mason, you've got to listen to this. This is going to cheer you up. Kiplinger letter, if you're not familiar, has been around for years.
God, a lot of years.
Covers a wide range of economic and business, political forecasting, and always provides a lot of good data. So last week's issue talks about the end of the pandemic, which is coming, provided, of course, that the vaccines do their job as expected, which so far, of course, there have been some supply issues, but gradually, the new President Biden is doing his best to get that supply ramped up as quickly. So I'm reading now from the Kiplinger letter, and it says that because of the pandemic becoming close to ending, there is a huge pent-up demand for services that most people have gone without since the virus shut down the economy much of last year. Consumers are sitting on tons of cash after months of saving what they usually spend, plus all of the stimulus money Washington will be providing as soon as Congress decides what they're going to be doing. And Kiplinger says that there's an extra 1.6 trillion stash in savings. So there is cash, there is money, and it's just a matter of getting that demand and finding again what niche. Maybe a possible niche for the car tray would be delivery services. What about UPS? What about Amazon? Some of those FedEx trucks that you see all the time. Might be worthwhile to contact some of them and see what about their interest. So anyway, there's a lot of potential out there. It's just a matter of the timing.
Thanks, Howard. That's great. I can't believe Kiplinger is still publishing a letter. Boy, I was reading that. I'm not going to tell you when I was reading that. That letter's been around a long time. Wow, that's amazing. And you still get it, huh?
Oh yeah,
Good for you.
I've been reading it longer than you have.
I bet you have. You bet you have. All right, let's bring in the other group here.
Yeah, you guys probably definitely know more than me than in this situation. It's just, I'm kind of biased against trays right now. I've seen way too many.
All right, we're back. All right. Andrea, anything to report from your session?
Nothing really. I just got some really good questions. I think everyone is definitely comfortable with how everything is going so far. I'm sure they're going to do great on the website. It's going to be really easy.
Good. All right, great. Well, we have some starting points to head into week 3 next week. We have to make our final product determination and where we're going to get it. And then think about the logo, going independent on the logo and getting that logo designed. We have developing our website and moving that along. Mason gave some good ideas about the product and how we can look at the product and selling it and finding a market for it. We'll talk about that. Gisleen is our corporate manager, and she's going to try to develop some corporate relationships and sales for our product outside of the internet, which I think is a potential opportunity for us with this product. And so, and then Talia is going to be developing and beginning to work with the numbers, and we're going to really press that going into the end of next week. We'll talk about the business plan and the draft a week from today, next Thursday. You don't have to worry about getting anything to me now, but begin to think about putting that together. Read over the material in Blackboard. Visit the Blackboard, David, and make sure you know what's there and know what's happening there, because that's the way we communicate. And I think we're off to a pretty decent start. There's a lot of directions we're going in. And thank God Sam is here to give us some meditation, because I certainly need it. And I appreciate Sam and all that she does for this. And Andrea, thank you for the session today. And anybody else have anything before we go?
I have one thing to say.
Okay, Andrew.
So I started a group folder on the Google Drive so we could dump all like our pictures, documents,
Oh,
Excel sheets, whatever we want in there. So it's a centralized area where we have.
do I have access to that?
I'll
Or
share
do
with
you want
you.
me to stay away?
No, I can share it with you. I have all our ideas in there.
But you don't have to. Now, you know, I don't want to horn in on your development and your stuff. So if you don't want me involved, trust me, I have thick skin. I could care less. But if you want me to be able to have access to it, I'd be more than willing to take a look at it. Naturally, I'm going to need those pictures anyways to develop some PR for our team outside of our classroom. I go to faculty meetings, I go to Senate meetings, I go to other things, and I'm going to be doing a little publicity work for you guys in those sessions as well. So, that's where we stand. All right. Anything else? Miguel, you have anything, buddy?
No, good.
All right. Again, he's a man of few words, but he knows what he's talking about. All right. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate all the input today. Great work. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Wear a mask. And keep working, keep trucking away. And I'll look forward to getting more information from you all over the weekend or next week. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Professor Hasse.
See you, Andrea.
Have a good weekend.
Adios.
Thank you.
See you, Howard, next Thursday, right?
Next Thursday, 3:30.
Attaboy. We'll see you.
All right.
That went pretty well, right?
That went very well, Andrew. Good start. Very good start.
Catch up there, but wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no, that's good. I wish Sebastian was with us, but I understand he's traveling, so there's nothing we can do about that. But if you can get him up to speed and knows what's going on, that's a key.
Perfect. Sounds good.
All right. And if you need anything or want any feedback, you know where I am.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
All right, Andrew. Thanks a lot.
Have a
Take
good one.
care. A good group, Howard, I think.
Very good.
I think we're,
I like the overall participation.
yes. Yes. I
Everybody
think,
seemed to be jumping right in and pitching, and there still is the problem of a CFO.
no, the CFO is Taylor Thompson. She's asked for the position and she is our CFO, Taylor
Oh, good.
Thompson. Yes.
Okay.
Now, the
Yeah,
only other thing that I should let you know about is we're having a very difficult time with the marketing professor for this group, Professor Rossum. She has been having some difficulties with the technology and communicating with the students. Dina Liu is involved in trying to fix that. So hopefully we can get that corrected, but there's been some difficulties with that class, and it's been some of our students have been going to other marketing professors because they're not getting the information they need in that class. So that the Dean Liu is aware of it, and hopefully we'll be dealing with it this week and next week. So, but I wanted to give you that so you know what's happening there. If you ever hear some students saying some things, that's all about. Okay.
Okay. Very interesting.
All right. All right, Howard, I'll let you go. How's your wife doing? Okay.
We have accomplished quite a feat today. We had our vaccination,
Oh, wow. Good job.
and thanks to a good doctor at Whittier Presbyterian, who we met with yesterday on a regular call, we discussed the problems of finding a suitable location. And of course, we qualify age-wise. And he called me yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock. We had met with him at 2 and said that he had found that there are appointments available at Cal Poly Pomona.
Yes, I've heard that too.
So I immediately got online, and there's a website called it's more effective than the county,
Oh,
myturn.ca.gov.
oh, I've heard of that. Yes, yes.
Much more effective than the LA County one. And so immediately I went to Cal Poly, and lo and behold, there was a whole raft of appointments
Oh,
that were available. And so I signed up. Doing the inputting on the websites is kind of touchy, but luckily I got through that. and made 2 appointments back to back for Shirley and me. And went over today to Cal Poly in the morning, and they have it well organized.
Wonderful.
They must have, I don't know how many people, but you can't turn around and you're bumping somebody that's willing to tell you, go this way, go that way, do this, do that. And immediately when you sign up and get your appointment, you get the second appointment with it. And so we left today, and the whole process, it doesn't do any good, we found, to get there early, because they want you to stay in your car and leave about 10 minutes ahead of your appointed time. So we were thinking maybe we should try and get there early. Doesn't do any good.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
and
Any side
anyway,
effects so far? Any side effects?
No.
Good.
It just they say after the second dose is when
Oh,
you might be subjected to some side effects, but mostly our granddaughter works at a hospital out in West LA, and she had her vaccination some time ago. Now she's young, and she had flu-like symptoms and like a headache and a fever, but it only lasted about 48 hours.
oh, okay.
And I read that the younger generation are more subject to the side effects. So far, so good.
That's
And
great news, Howard. That's
I
great.
was very impressed with how efficient that was. And they actually had more space available than there were participants.
Wow.
Now, I signed up yesterday afternoon about 4:15, 4:30. And I went back to the website about 6 o'clock, and it said they had 92 openings.
Wow.
Now, this morning I checked, it was closed.
Yeah. They probably go fast.
So Cal Poly, now for you, I guess there's a friend of ours went to the Pomona Fairgrounds.
Yes.
Which
Well,
would be close.
I had a you're familiar with the shot Shingrix shot? Shingrix?
No.
I had a Shingrix shot. It's for about 2 weeks ago. It's for oh my God, I brain freeze. It's for shingles.
Oh.
And my doctor recommended I get this shot. So I had it 2 weeks ago. So I have to wait 4 weeks before I can get my vaccination for COVID.
I see. Okay.
So I'm scheduled for January 26th. That's 2 weeks from tomorrow. And I'm going to go to Cal Poly Pomona, because I've heard, just like you, nothing but great things about it. So Cal Poly is only 10 minutes, 15 minutes from my house.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. So I'm scheduled. My time is up with the shot, so I can take it in 2 weeks. So that's when I'm gonna get it.
Oh, good. No, I was very impressed with how that was organized.
Good.
And I said, by the time I parked the car, left the car, of course, my wife is in a wheelchair, but that was not much of an obstacle. And you park your car, and then you have to go a pretty good distance. It's all in these parking garages.
Yeah.
But it's well organized, signs all over, and
well, that's great to know. I'm glad you got. So you're all scheduled. You got your appointment all ready to go back for the second shot.
Exactly. It was part of the process.
Good.
So that was
that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great
use
news.
that My Turn website.
I'm going to go there now because I've heard some good things about that, and I wrote it down. So I'm going to check that out too.
All right.
All right, Howard. Take care.
Oh, Lions.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Hey, is Michigan back playing basketball again? Are they off the COVID alert and they're back playing? Do you know?
Michigan's got a very good team.
I know they had a hell of a team,
I think
but they had
I think they lost one game.
Yeah,
and
but they had to take
haven't seen them recently.
Yeah, they had to take a 2-week break because they shut down all the athletics at Michigan for 2 weeks.
Oh, that was
COVID.
it. Okay, I've not seen them on TV, but I watch them on TV.
Yeah, they got a hell of a team.
I think they're number one in the Big Ten.
Yes, they got a very good team. So I'm anxious for them to get started again and see how they're going to end up. Yeah, and the Lions, that's another story. And we'll talk more about that later on. We'll see what happens there. All right, Howard.
Got a few months. All right.
Take care.
Have a good week.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.